All right, so here I'll try and draw another one here. And some people prefer to draw almost an egg shape. Okay, to start. Now it's not quite an egg shape, but you get the idea. They've eliminated my step of drawing a circle and then a jaw. So, you know, they've just incorporated it here. And again, you draw your lines across. There's for the mouth. And we're going to put this one at a little bit of an angle. You're not looking directly straight at the guy now, just a little bit off the side. So, you know, you draw your line off to the side a little bit that way. And now, as you can imagine, maybe you won't see as much as of his right side of his head as you will the left side. All right, so we're going to draw the eye again. All right, and you have a good idea of how that works. Okay, so there's the iris. We're going to draw this again here. And like that. All right, now you can see we've run out of room on this side, and his ear is going to be quite a bit more visible here. All right, and the back of his head is going to come that way. Now his nose, you're going to see more of his nose, more of an angle. It won't be straight on now. Okay, we're going to draw just a few marks to get it started, and we'll draw maybe not a whole V as before, but again, you can draw in your J and another J, and on this side, that J is going to be much shorter, of course, so, you know, because we're seeing less of that side of his right side of his head. So there's that. And the lips now, you'll see less of the right side, more of the left side. Top and bottom. All right. We can draw the cheek in now and come up through the chin. All right. Eyebrows. Eyebrows. This guy's just mission ready here. He's just, you know, pretty intent on what's going on. And you'll see even as you draw, you know, when you look at the human eye, there's even a bit of a shadow here caused by the eyelid. I wouldn't draw that in real heavy with your pencils, you know, and you don't carve that in either, but there is that little bit of shadow between the eyeball itself and the lid. So you'll pick these things up as you go. Now if we come back to the nose, we can actually draw an extension to that V we started out with at the bottom, just to give it more shape. All right, so we've got that going, the philtrum there, a little bit of that. We can shade in the nose a little. All right, so when you start shadowing in, you're gonna put more work here on this side. All right, you start adding lines there if he's been up a long time, kind of thing. And there will be a considerable amount of shadow. You can draw some pretty good shadow in where the nose and the eyes form together. All right, and there's even a slight bit of shadow here where the skull is actually doing that to the nose. All right, so there's this. The eyebrows are coming off this way. All right. All right, your eye is now typically like this. All right, so there's that little bit of shadow there where the skull is. Your philtrum's right there. And again, you can see, you know, as I was mentioning earlier, the light source comes up here. The upper lip is more in shadow. There's a little bit of shadow here where the two lips meet, and then maybe a little bit more shadow on the bottom of the lip. But, you know, make sure you leave enough surface reflected light there. Right below the lip, there's going to be some shadow. All right. So, and then this again, there's maybe some shadow going on here. There's the eyebrow again. Now, using this technique, it seems a little bit harder to me to actually rotate the head to a different angle. Like if you were trying to look at somebody from behind, like if you were looking at me like right now, this is a little bit more difficult for me to try and render. You eventually have to start drawing some sort of line, I think, for the jaw anyways. There's the cheek, and there's the top of the head. The eyes, you know, you can't really see it right now. There's the back of the cheek. The mouth kind of disappears a little bit And you start seeing almost the back of the ear now at one point. The hairline's about here. Oops, the hairline would be about right there. Sideburns, you know, your cheek. Actually, yours would be more over that way. So, but with the earlier drawing, when you have your circle, you can draw that jawline a little bit easier, and you can start to visualize where that jaw is actually going to end up on the other side of the head. You know, you can almost come around and it's almost going to look like that. So here's the left ear, and the right ear, of course, you can't see, but you know the jawline is going to be over there. You don't draw this in real heavy, of course. None of this gets drawn in real heavy. But you now have at least some idea of where you're going with that view of the human head. So practice. And as you go along, you're going to find you might spend a page or two just drawing, you know, the human mouth, you know, in different forms and, you know, different shapes, even openings. Openings are tough. Don't be discouraged when, you know, if you try to draw somebody like maybe yelling or something, you know, it's a very difficult thing to do to make it look realistic. All right, because you got to worry about where the teeth are going to go. You got to worry about inside the mouth. All right, you got to think about, you know, where his tongue is going to be. So I wouldn't really be too concerned with trying to display a lot of action yet, okay? But again, practice. It takes a lot of practice to develop your skills as an artist. And again, please don't get discouraged. You'll develop a style and just keep working at it.